Hello, you're welcome to this lesson. And this lesson today, I'm going to teach you how to practically code on PyCharm, as we are using PyCharm as our IDE. How to build a child weight calculator. For instance, this is at the end of the course. You are going to build a child weight calculator, and this child weight calculator, it is, although it is accurate, but not really. But then it is an estimated values that this calculator will give you, some precisely and some to accurately. Okay, so let's see. This is a child weight calculator once again, and first of all, let me walk you through the front end of this particular software. You are going to do the same thing. We are going to do the front end. You are also going to build the back end for this particular software, right? So this is the front end. You can see we have first frame on the top by using the dot pack. Then also we have another frame here on our left hand side, and we have another frame here at the middle part, and we have another frame here at the right part of the board. Okay, so this is how the software works. So you have to enter values between 3 and 12. So it's a child weight calculator, so anyone between 3 months and 12 months, you enter the age here, and when you click on this button, it is going to show you the estimated weights. Note, it is going to show you the estimated weight for the value you place here, right? And here too, if the person is between 1 and 6 years, right, you put the value here, and it will give you the estimated weight of that particular child. And here too, the same thing. Any child between 7 and 12 years, you just put the value here and it will display here. So let me do one example for you. Let me compare this one so you understand what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is a simple chart. Okay, so any child having 3 months, the estimated weight should be 6 kilograms, and any child 6 months should have 7.5 kilograms as an estimated weight. So let's check from our software and see. So for instance, let me check for the 6 months. It is giving us 7.5. This is schematically, or this diagram shows us the estimated weight for a child with these particular ages, right? So let me try for 6 months. So the estimated should be 7.5. So let me go back to my software. 6 months. So 6 months. So it means I have to punch, or I have to enter it here. So 6 months should be here. 6 months. So you see, when you click on this, it is giving me 7.5, and you can see 6 months is 7.5 kilograms here. That works perfectly, right? Okay, so more example. Let me try. So let me try between 1 and 6 years. Let me try this one to 1 and 6 years. So let me try 4 years. So 4 years, the estimated weight should be 16 kilograms, right? So just go 4 years. So 4 years will be somewhere here, right? So 4 years. So I have to get 16, right? You see, it worked perfectly. 16 kilograms, right? Okay, so let me work for the last aspect. It is in ranges from 3 to 12 months, 1 to 6 years, and 7 to 12 years. So let me try 7 to 12 years. 7 to 12 years. Okay, so let me try for the 10 years. 10 years, your estimated weight should be 32.5. Yes, let me check. 10 years, 32.5. 10 years, 32.5. You can see, absolutely right, 32.5. And you can see the decimal places is what? You can just see the decimal places. How many decimal places? 2 decimal places, right? Okay. So let me walk you through also some logical statement that we used in this particular software. Okay, so in case the person wants to try whether this particular software works perfectly, Okay, so you said I should enter 3 to 12 months. Okay, so let me enter, let's say 1, and let's see what the system will give the person. 1 is not in the range because I said you have to enter 3 to 12 months at this entry, but here is the case you are entering 1. When you enter 1, it will give you an error message, or it will not display the result for you. So see, age not in range, right? You can try 2. You can see age not in range. Now let me do it 3. You can see 3, it has given me the estimated weight. The same thing applied to this, the same thing applied to this. For instance, for this one, 7 to 12 years, let me punch, let me try to type 18 years. 18 years is not in range, age not in range, right? So absolutely, I'm going to teach you everything step by step so that at the end of this course, you will be able to design a child weight calculator and you can sell it at any convenient price. Okay, so let's dive into our code area. So this is the code area for the particular software I just shown you. Please, if you don't have an IDE or you don't have Python extension installed on your PC, kindly install that. You can just go to online or go to Google, just type for PyCharm download or Python download the extension, then you integrate it together and it will work perfectly for you. So do that if you don't have that. Okay, then also let me also walk you through this particular code of lines contain both the front end and the back end, right? You have the front end and the back end. So the front end is what you saw over there, that when I showed to you, that is the front end, and this is, yes, the back end of it. Okay, so I will provide the code for you. Okay, so you just have to make sure you understand the course very well as I explain. Leave no stone unturned. So I'll give the code there so you can download it, and you can also copy and paste it on your IDE. Then you post it in your IDE, then you try and run it and see the results, right? You can navigate through. So let's start with each lines of code. Remember that Python executes its every line of code, right? It executes it line by line, right? So for instance, from take enter is the what do you call it? That is what we are using for the interface, right? The interface, right? The GUI. It's a GUI system that Python normally runs. It's part of the library, Python's library. So we import everything. So from take enter, we import everything. Root is equal to tk, root the geometry. So the geometry is the size, right? As in the height and the width. So for instance, this is, you can see it has a height, it has a width, right? So that is it. So just give the geometry of your code or your software, then you give the title. So root the title, you can actually name it as a string, so it should be in a inverted commas, as you can see here. Theophilus child weight calculator. So let me show you where the title is showing. Okay, here, so you can see Theophilus child weight calculator. So you can see that's root the title. So you can actually change. So let me change it to only Theophilus, so you can see what I'm talking about. So let me run it so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me run it so you can see what I'm talking about. You can see Theophilus is only here. Now the rest is gone. So let me put it back. Okay, so now you can see you can see it is here. Okay, so I'm going to work you through systematically before we get access to before you get access to the actual values of the results, first of all, let's skip this part. This is the calculation aspect. I'll come there, and let's skip this one. So let's start with the front end. Let me show you exactly how I developed this front end. So you can see on the left hand side, these are variables. These are variables on the top. So those are variables on the left hand side. As you can see, these are the lines of codes. Then okay, so with the front end, I started with frame, and that frame I said I should dot pack it. So top dot pack, and the side it should go to top, right? As you can see, so this is top frame. As you can see, this is the top frame I'm talking about, where the floating child weight calculator, as you can see over there, that is the top frame. Then label title, that is the title, right? As you can see, child weight calculator, so that is the title, yes, on the label. So let me show you child weight calculator. You can see child weight calculator, that is the label given to that. So you use the function label, right? Then you give the text of the labeling. Then you give pad x and pad y. Pad x is padding, like the how far you want it from the x-axis, and pad y is how far you want it from the y-axis. This BD represent the border. You want the border, you can increase the border, can navigate through and change anything here. You can see bridge is light blue, that is the background. Let me change it to yellow so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's see, watch it carefully. You can see it has changed to yellow. You can see the background has turned to yellow, right? Yes. So you can change the background of it. We can change the background. Okay, so FR12 is frame 1. That is how I decided to name the variable, and I said it should be a frame. That is the function I gave it to. Then I specify the width and the height of the frame, the border, and the relief. It should be raised. You can raise it. You can sunken it. You have sunken, so you can do it. You can sunken. So sunken, as you can see, you can give it sunken. So let me run the sunken so you can actually see what I'm talking about. Let me run it so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can see FR1. So you can see here, you can see the sunken. It has gone something inside. It has that sunken here. It has sunk, right? Yes, that's it. So you can raise it. This is raised, but this is sunken. So let me go to sunken, raise. Let me raise. Okay. So basically that's all. Then FRA, it means frame 1A, right? So I have frame 1, you should go to the left, and frame 1A, then frame 1B. So let me also explain that one to you. You can see this is frame 1, right? And frame 1A is this one, this particular frame. That is frame 1A. Then frame 1B is this particular frame. The frame 1A and frame 1B is nothing. You can change it. It's just a variable, right? So you see frame 1A should be on top, and another frame 1B should be on top. So this 2 is frame 2. So I name another frame to be frame 2A, then frame 2B here. Then I name this one is this one is frame 3, and I name this one to be frame 3A, frame 3B. Then I took it from there. So right. So basically that's why you can see FR1B, it's nothing, it's just, so you can see frame 2, the same thing, frame 2A, as I said. So frame 2A, just pack it. You can see frame 2B, as I said. Yes. So let's quickly see the button 2. You can see button month and button month.grade, label results 1, label results 1.grade. Okay. So with the button, you can see the button here. Let me show you the button I'm talking about. You have first button, you have second button, you have third button. So button, this is another button. That's the button 3. we were talking about. Okay. Okay, so let me also introduce to you. Okay, so now let me introduce to you the label year. You see, label year 2, label year 2, test year 2, test year 2. Okay, so this is what this is what is showing. So you can see test, because this is year 1, right? So I made this one year 1, year 2, year 3, then I made this test, this test, this test, right? So that's how I decided to name the buttons and also the text, right? So test year 2, test year 2, right? Dot grade, and this enter it here from 7 to 12 months, sorry, from 7 to 12 years. So that year, this label represents this. That is what you can see there, from 11 to 12 this year. That's the label. Then this is the entry, right? That is the entry. That is the entry. As you can see, entry, right? Entry, entry, right? Okay, so basically that is all. It's very, very simple. I'll provide, once again, I'll provide the the source code so you can actually copy it and try it out by yourself. But I'm trying to explain everything for you so you understand it and understand it very, very well. Okay, so the same thing I said, I have frame 2b dot pack. You should go to top, you give it the attribute, the same thing, button year 2, button year 2 dot grade. Yes, of course you do that. Forget about the command. I will come to this part very soon. Now let's check the label result. So we have label result 1, label result 2, label result 3. So this is label result 3, right? And I told you that I have FR12B, right? And I show you where it was. I've already done that. So label result dot grade, you give it the row, then the column. Remember, when you use dot grade, you have to specify the row and the column it should go. When you use pack dot pack, you have to specify the side it should go. So you don't use the row for pack, and don't also, so what I mean is that don't interchange it, because it won't work, right? There's difference between pack and you have a difference between grade, right? And also you can also use dot place, right? So you can see you can use dot place there, but then dot place you have to give x and y axis, right? So you have to understand these terminologies and these Python languages. Okay, so the same thing applies to F3. As I said, this is F3 frame 3. So you give it the label that was there, then you give it the button and the display result region. So you give it the button as I said earlier, then you give it the display results region. That is label results 2. So basically that is the end of the front end development. Okay, so you have to understand. So at the end of this course, we've now, I'm sure you've gotten what I'm trying to insinuate, right? Because you can see you just have to just give it a root, that is the board. Then after that you just go ahead, after you giving the board, you can just go ahead and you create a label. When you create a label here, you use pack and it will be on top. You create another frame, you create another frame here, then you create another frame here. This should be on the left, this should be on the left, this should also be on the left, so that it will be in sequence as shown below, right? Then you have, or you know how to also, you now know how to also add button. You can just type button there, as you can see button here, button, sure. So basically that's all for that. Let me come to the back end, actually the one that is going to do the calculations for us, right? For instance, when we enter a certain value, now I want the software to execute this particular value, age not in range, right? So let's see how to do that. So because we have three different regions or sections, we have section 1, section 2, section 3. You have to give each and every one the display result region, display result region, display result region, and also give each and every one function, right? So you key CWC1, it means what? Child weight calculator 1, right? Then child weight calculator 2, right? Then child weight calculator 3. So the 1, 2, 3 that you see there just represent the sections 1, 2, 3. So you can name it as you want. So note that. So let me first tackle the first one. So first one, you have test the month, right? You have test month. So let's see. Test month is a test where the person should enter the month over there. As you can see, we've already have it's a variable that we've already declared. Test month is a variable that, so we have test year. So we have test year here. Test month will be on top. Yes. Okay, you can see test year here. Test month. So you can see test month here, right? So the test month, it means where the person should enter the test, right? So this particular region where the person should enter the test or the value, that is what we term as test month region. You can actually change it. As I said, it's just a variable, it's a float. So I want to convert this variable to a float, and I have to contain this float as variable 1. Then I have to get the value that the person typed it here. So the dot get means that you should take the value that it's in the test region. So when I click on 5, the dot get will take the 5, right? So first of all, you can see variable 1 here. Let me scroll down. Yes, let me come to this. Variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. Then you can see double var, double var, double var. It is nothing, right? Double variable. The double var means double variable. V2 double variable. V3 double variable. It is nothing. Okay, so you can see what we are interested in is that whenever you go to the test month, the month region, right? The test month region. So where is it? Test month, right? You can see the test variable should be variable 1, right? The test variable should be variable 1, and variable 1 2 is double var, and the variable 1 2 you should get the variable 1. So it means that the variable 1 is now located in the text region, as you can see, as the text variable, right? So basically that's all. So it means that where you also have the text year, you can also put the variable 3. So here test year 2, we use variable 3. The same thing, test year 1, you can use variable 2, right? So basically that is it. That is how to declare the double var. Okay, so CWC, that means child weight calculator, should be equal to string. Then the string, you should convert the text. So let me first explain this aspect for you. This is actually what is doing the magic for us. There's no way to as I said, child weight is unpredicted. You can't, because depending on the size, and the person might be obese and stuff, so you cannot base on the age to predict the actual weight of the person or an individual. You can't. Yes, because of several factors. But then this is just an estimated way of getting those values. Okay, so what you do is that the value that the person enter, right, at the test month region, is you add 9 to it, then you divide it by 2. When you do that, the value that you are going to get is for any value, or it's for any child between 3 and 12. Do you understand? Yes, of course you will understand, because you know that from 3 to 12 months, that is the formula that we are using for the calculation aspect. So test month plus 9 divided by 2 will actually give you the weight. And let's see something. You can see a logical statement here, if and else statement here. So if the text box or the test month, this particular region I'm talking about, this particular region, if it is between 3 and 12, it should display the result. Else it should display error. So else it should display age not in range, as you can see. So that thing is here. This is what is doing the magic for us. So if the test month is between 3 and 12, right, the label result dot config, the test in the label result dot config should be CWC. So CWC means it should give the actual value here, right? But if or else the results dot config, the test should be age not in range. That's why you can see the age not in range. So the same thing apply to CWC2, the same thing apply to CWC3. So the same thing, if so you declare the variable test year variable 2 dot get float, then you convert the float to string. Remember that this one is just showing us the number of decimal places that we want it to be, which is 2. We have 2 decimal places, right? That's why the values are showing 2 decimal places over there. Okay, so you give the if statement, then you give else statement also for that. The same thing applies to CWC3, child weight calculator 3. You give the child the test year, convert it to float, convert the float to string, then you use the logical statement for this. Okay, so this is the end of child weight calculator, and I hope you enjoyed this particular course very well. Please, if you are new here, just have to subscribe to this particular YouTube channel. And lest I forget, I will provide the link to the particular source code, or this source code, for you, so you can copy and try it at your own pace. Thank you very much for this particular attention.